to begin to document.
The use of the military in the 2019 general elections was unnecessary and a threat to democracy, says civil society organizations. The presence of the troops resulted in the lowest voter turnout in Nigeria's democratic history.
When somebody wins election, clearly he won, and then another result is announced. That is where you see some of this backlash, some of these problems. And then the state will now deploy security to start stopping people from expressing their dissatisfaction over the change or manipulation of the election result. We can avoid all that. We are getting more and more civilized, and we should be more democratic enough to allow the will of people to prevail.
We have been working together for a few years now, and we have been working together here in Nigeria to promote good governance with defense institutions.
It also begins to suggest certain information that was passed across by the CNC prior to the election, saying that if you snatch the ballot box, that you have a price to pay. And of course, the military now came out to clearly say, look, we are going to enforce to the letter the president's directive.
INEC admits that there were challenges in the electoral process, but it said political parties to share the blame. If electronic elections were adopted, it would disenfranchise some people because of their geographical locations. If the government were to sign it into law, they would have no choice but to adopt it.
No candidate, no civil society organization, no media organization, and no security agency can claim the moral high ground in relation to its performance during the 2019 elections and then absolve itself of some of the blame in relation to some of the challenges that we had during that election. If you look at the reports from domestic and international election observers, you will see that there's enough blame to go around. We have taken our own blame, and we are also engaged in our own internal evaluation.
Since NIP started in 1979 till date, virtually all the problems Nigerians are having today, there have been research written about them. Where are we keeping them in archives?
According to CISLAC, 58 people died during the polls. 27% of polling units were under-policed. INEC had 809 pre-election complaints. There were further 800 complaints, mostly from political parties. Security experts also had this to say.
The summary of our problem in this country is about impunity. When something is done, there is no punishment. And when there is no punishment, it will actually fester. And that's the problem we have. There are so many security issues that continue to develop. They develop simply because there is impunity.
Rules of engagement need to be adhered to. The election, in fact, the point is that in this country, the military have overstepped their mandate because Section 217.
Internal security is a top priority, and the way to achieving a peaceful electoral process, according to civil society, is to introduce electronic voting, making political office unattractive, and changing rules of engagement for security personnel. Roots TV, Nigeria.